How's it going, guys? Welcome to our very first ever Naruto movie review. Today we're going to be reviewing the first ever Naruto movie. Naruto the movie, Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow. Now that's a freaking long name for a movie, and to be honest, I don't know why they would name it that. Sometimes I got confused on what the name of the movie was called just because of how long the name was. But the movie director was Tensei Okamura, and I have to say this before I get into the review. This movie's not canon at all. Apparently, it could possibly take place after Naruto episode 101, but from my knowledge, Kishi had little to almost no involvement in this movie, which basically makes it non-canon. And I mean, most anime movies aren't canon to begin with. Some of them here and there are, but I'm almost 99% positive this one is not canon. Hey guys, really quickly before we start with the review, we got a quick message from our sponsor. Take it away, sponsor. Oh, well then, if you guys could just be sure to freaking press the like button, okay? Please just press the like button. Subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys definitely want more Naruto movie reviews, I want to do all 11 Naruto movies, okay? But in order to do that, I need you guys to smash that like button. Make sure it turns blue. Hit that subscribe button. So then it just says subscribe and it turns gray. Other than that, thank you, sponsor, for not saying anything. Back with the review. So basically, the plot of the movie revolves around Team 7 protecting the Land of Fire's greatest actor, Yuki Fuzikaze, who is later to be revealed Kuyuki Kazana. Kazana, something like that. To be honest, guys, the names in this movie were extremely forgettable, and besides the princess, I mean, I just mainly called the princess, but yeah, most of the names in this movie were extremely forgettable. I had to Google a lot of the names for this review, to be honest. Like, I forgot everybody except the princess. But yeah, the Land of Fire's greatest actor is later to be revealed Kuyuki Kazana, who basically is the princess of the Land of Snow. We then eventually end up in the Land of Snow, which is the setting of Kuyuki's new movie. But while filming the movie, the crew of the movie and Team 7 get attacked by ninja from the Land of Snow, who basically work for Kuyuki's uncle, Dato Kazana. Dato Kazana 10 years ago killed the ruler of the Land of Snow, who was Kuyuki's father, his own brother, so he can then be the ruler of the Land of Snow and awaken a power that resides in the Land of Snow, so then he can rule over the 5 great nations. Due to the coup d'etat, Kuyuki left the Land of Snow for 10 years with a special crystal necklace that her father gave to her before he died, which actually is the item that awakens this great power that her uncle Dato thinks the Land of Snow has. It's a pretty simple premise for a movie, to be honest. I mean, Team 7 has to protect Kuyuki, which is secretly the princess of the Land of Snow, and she eventually returns to the Land of Snow because she's forced to, by the way, to film this movie. And when they finally get back, they get attacked by the Land of Snow ninja. Basically, her uncle was attacking her, and his henchmen attacked her because they want to get that necklace. And apparently, that necklace opens or awakens this great power that her uncle thinks that is residing in the Land of Snow. I thought the premise was pretty decent. The fights were really good. They're very well animated, especially for its time, the fights at least. So I'm going to go through some pros and cons in this movie. There are a lot more pros to this movie than there are cons, but the cons, I think, about balance the pros because the cons are very, very apparent in the movie. So we're going to start with pros because there's a lot less cons. So I'll just get the pros out of the way first. The beginning of the movie is really, really cool. I love the beginning. Essentially, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are all watching a movie in a movie theater, and they eventually get kicked out. It's a pretty funny scene, but I love the fact that they were watching a movie because at first it makes it seem like Naruto is actually in the movie or something like that, and then eventually it just zooms out of his face and it shows that he's in a movie theater, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that concept of the opening. It was actually pretty cool. I liked it.
Behind you, princess, look out!
Another pro of this movie is, listen, you get to see Team 7 together. Now, at the time when the movie was being made, obviously Team 7 was together, but after seeing Naruto over and everything, it's nice to see Team 7, at least young Team 7, all together, Another good thing that I really liked was most of the movie did have original soundtracks, but when the OG Naruto soundtracks played, they hit, okay? They hit every time, and you know when they hit. One of the best Naruto memes or Naruto like funny faces is actually in this movie, which I didn't actually expect at all, but it was really, really freaking funny to see. Another cool thing that they kind of kept with the Naruto lore is the villains, they mention Kakashi as if, you know, he has a reputation, because everybody knows Kakashi is the copy ninja, or the Kakashi with the Sharingan, whatever. They do mention that Kakashi and Team 7 are protecting the princess, and they basically say, oh, it's Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja. He's basically going to be the biggest thing in the way from getting the princess. Somewhat of a decent, cool thing I thought was the character designs for the villains were cool, but I do have a gripe with the villains that I'll get into later. But the designs at least were interesting and original, kinda. I don't know. There's just one scene in the movie where Naruto is holding the princess on his back because she ran away. She's upset. Okay, listen, let me tell you this. The princess's attitude throughout the entire movie is pretty bad. I'll get into that a little bit more in a little bit, but she basically runs away from the movie crew and everybody, and Team 7, and Naruto finds her, and he basically puts her on her back, and he's carrying her, and they're on a train track, and this train starts coming, and I thought it was really funny because Naruto was like running with the princess on his back, and OG Naruto music started to play, and he was like running. He's like, I gotta do it, I can outrun the train. I thought that was one of the coolest parts in the entire movie.
This isn't over! I'll be dead before I'm gonna give up! Even if you're ready to call it quits, I'm not giving up ever! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on!
A little bit after that Naruto running away from the train scene, the train stops, and these native warriors that basically want to protect the princess, they die in an extremely brutal way that I didn't think I'd see in a Naruto movie. Basically, these people really want the princess to become the princess of the land of snow, but they're being ruled by her uncle, which they don't really like. They'd rather have the princess be the ruler, and they try to protect her, and they kind of get killed in an extremely brutal way by this train. They basically get shot a lot by a bunch of kunai, and it was actually pretty brutal for a Naruto movie, especially like Kid Naruto. I did not expect it at all. At one point in the movie, the princess's uncle does end up capturing the princess, and Naruto basically sneaks on board this blimp where they're at, and there's this really funny scene with Naruto and his shadow clones, because he had to use the shadow clones, so you know, he had to like extend his shadow clones just to get on the blimp, because it's a blimp and they're flying away, you know. And there's this really funny scene when he gets caught with all of his shadow clones on the blimp. I thought it was really funny.
How on earth did you get in here?
Never underestimate a ninja!
After Naruto and the princess, you know, they get caught on the blimp and everything, they get imprisoned by Dato, or her uncle, basically, and, you know, Sadness and Sorrow plays. Although it is a different version of Sadness and Sorrow, it is always nice to see Sadness and Sorrow in anything Naruto related. I'm going to talk about this in just a little bit when we get to the cons, but the princess's attitude is absolute shit throughout most of the movie, and I didn't really like her personality. But after Sadness and Sorrow plays, and you know, Naruto uses his Talk no Jutsu, she finally changes her ways and her attitude towards everything, and I thought that was finally kind of nice to see. And by the way, this is like an hour and 15 minutes into the movie. We're almost done already. And then in the final battle between Naruto and Dato, her uncle, you know, it wouldn't be a Naruto movie or anything Naruto related without Naruto summoning Kurama with his Nine Tails chakra, and you know, finishing it with a Rasengan, which it was a Rainbow Rasengan, which listen, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see. I thought it was interesting. I don't really know how the rainbow stuff kind of correlated with the movie, but sure. Now we're gonna get into some cons. Like I said, there are more pros than cons, but I do think these cons are like pretty major to the movie, in my opinion. Now I want to get into the princess's attitude. The princess's attitude, I thought throughout the entire movie, was absolute trash. Her attitude didn't change until like an hour and 15 minutes into the movie. But other than that, the entire movie, she's a complete bitch towards everybody. Even these warriors that got brutally murdered, that wanted her to be the princess of the Land of Snow, she didn't care at all about any of these people. She just walked away, and she's like, well, that's what they get for standing up to Dato. Like, I hated her attitude, absolutely hated her attitude throughout the entire movie. When she finally changed, I felt like it was a little too late, because there was only like 20 minutes left of the movie, and I was like, okay, I guess. Your attitude was shit. I didn't like her throughout basically most of the movie. One of the biggest cons, I think, of this movie, and I did see a comment on my community tab the other day. The villains have these special like chakra armor. It's kind of like a scientific ninja tool, which it's a way ahead of its time in Naruto. I kind of went along with it because it's a movie, but I thought it was kind of a cop-out. Essentially what this chakra armor does, you can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu on them, like, at all. It was kind of like a cop-out. I don't know, I feel like they could have just made the villains have like some sort of cool snow jutsus or something like that. But yeah, I didn't really like the idea of the chakra armor, or like it absorbed chakra, and I just didn't like it. I felt like the technology wasn't even there yet. I mean, in Boruto, we barely have stuff like that, and in Naruto, they have that. I don't know, I didn't really like this whole chakra armor thing. And eventually, it didn't really matter anyway, because eventually the chakra armor broke anyway by just using an OP Chidori. Sasuke literally just uses a regular Chidori on Dato and his armor breaks. So, I mean, you just have to use strong enough ninjutsu and it'll eventually break, which, I don't know. I thought the armor was just a cop-out. This is a nitpick, and I thought it was just kind of funny. You know how in the original Naruto series, in the very first few episodes when Kakashi is fighting Zabuza, he uses water-style water dragon jutsu, and it takes forever. You know, it's a famous scene in Naruto. They both do it like a bunch of signs, and they finally get the water dragon jutsu to come out. Well, in this movie, Kakashi uses like 2 or 3 hand seals, and he summons the water dragon jutsu. And I thought that was, it's more of a nitpick. It's not really like a con of the movie, but I thought it was kind of funny to see how fast he did it compared to in the original series. He did it so slow, it took him forever.
Water style water dragon jutsu!
Earlier, I did say the characters' names are extremely forgettable. The only person I kind of remember was the princess, but I just kept referring to her as the princess, not like her actual name. I didn't really, like, I don't even remember her actual name right now. I'm literally reading my script right now. I don't even remember her actual name. I'm sorry. The movie characters' names were extremely forgettable. I didn't really remember any other names. I had to Google and look up on the Wikipedia for their names for this review. This is also like a little nitpick. I just noticed while I was just watching the movie, the Land of Snow, they're like basically Dato's henchmen's headbands, like the Land of Snow headbands, were really dumb. They were just literally just polka dots on their headbands. This is more of a nitpick. It's not a con. It's just they could have put more effort into the Land of Snow headbands. They're literally just dots. Like, what are you? Just dots? What is that? It's supposed to be snow? Like falling? Like, they could have made like a snowflake, and like an actual snowflake. I think that'd been way cooler. Now, earlier I did say that it was nice to see, you know, Team 7 all together, but sadly to say, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, more of just Sasuke and Sakura, actually aren't in this movie too much. This is a Naruto movie, rightfully so. It is just Naruto, and the princess is in it a lot. Dato is in it a little bit, but it's mainly just Naruto and the princess. Sasuke and Sakura kind of get shafted. I would probably say accumulatively in the movie, they're probably only in the movie for like 10 to 15 minutes. And this is like a hour and 20-minute movie. Now, earlier I was saying sadness and sorrow, or Naruto's Talk no Jutsu finally changed the princess. I want to get to that. That didn't happen until, let me see, an hour and 15 minutes into the movie. And the movie is only like an hour and 20 to 25 minutes long. So it took the entire movie for her attitude to change, and she was like a bitch throughout the entire movie. We did get her backstory, which it was kind of explained why she was kind of a bitch and why she didn't want to go back to the Land of Snow, because she knew Dato, her uncle, was there. She didn't want to go back there, and rightfully so. You know, she's a bitch, but like, she's a bitch towards everybody, and her attitude just didn't change at all. Like, she was just a bitch. That was her whole character, a bitch, throughout the entire movie, up until like an hour and 15 minutes, which was there was only like 15 minutes left of the movie. That's it. So this is like the last like con / nitpick. It's not really like bad. It doesn't make the movie bad, but essentially throughout the entire movie, Naruto is taking a lot of damage, and he doesn't really have time to heal, especially in that final battle between him and Dato. He's falling. At one point he falls like a far distance, and he gets his chakra kind of absorbed from him. He gets electrocuted a bunch, he gets tortured, and he still has enough energy to take down Dato. which, I mean, you know, it's a Naruto movie, so I let it pass, and he did use Kurama and his chakra, so I let that pass. It is a Naruto movie, but I just thought it was a little nitpick how he took all this damage, and he ended up defeating Naruto. Now, Sasuke did kind of help him, because he used a Chidori to take down his chakra armor, which I didn't like I said earlier, but, you know, I still think it was a little weird how Naruto took all his damage and he still had enough energy to take down Dato. Overall though, I do think this was a pretty decent Naruto movie. So we're going to be doing like a tier list for all these Naruto movies. And to be honest guys, I think I'd rate this Naruto movie in a B tier. It wasn't too bad. There was like a few major cons, like I said. I didn't like the chakra armor, and I really didn't like the princess's attitude. And it was pretty hard to remember the characters' names. But other than that, overall, this was a pretty decent Naruto movie, especially for its time, and it was the first Naruto movie, so they didn't really have anything to go off of. I believe Kishi, like I said, wasn't really involved with this movie at all, but yeah, I think B is pretty good. This may not be official until I finish all the Naruto movies, but I'm pretty confident in this one in being B tier. But that's about it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching my first Naruto review. Like I said, this was a pretty decent movie, and I definitely do recommend you guys watching it, especially if you like to see Young Team 7 together, just to go on missions and stuff like that. I'm into that kind of stuff, so I really liked it. There were only a few major gripes that I had with the movie, but like I said, overall, pretty decent Naruto movie. If you guys could, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. A lot more Naruto movie reviews to come, obviously. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.